then just check this out. The Die Cutting Essentials magazine issue 132 comes with this absolutely amazing die set. This is by Jamie Rodgers and the Festive Kaleidoscope die set. Wow, this is, I think a lot of you is really going to love it. I know I have enjoyed working with this really much. These are fantastic, something very different for Christmas, which is right up my street, and I just absolutely loved this. So I'm going to show you what we have in here. I'm going to take them off this sheet. It's probably easier to see. So we have two kaleidoscope slices, two different ones. And you can see the design that you get by cutting out of those in here. So this one is more holly leaves and berries, and this one is stars and a real lovely, like almost art deco kind of style. Really love that one. So it's these two in here, and then we have the two outline dies. One is slightly larger than the other, so the scalloped one is slightly larger than this one, or longer even. You can beautifully layer these up on top of each other, and then add one of these in here, or just use one of them. Then we have this lovely corner die with the lovely swirls in it, and then we have Merry and Christmas dies. Now I do keep them in here because I just don't like to lose these are too precious. Absolutely beautiful die set. So I don't have the magazine, the issue of the magazine in here with me because I'm not subscribed to that one, and I received these way back in I think it was June when I was working on this commission, and this issue of the magazine was released on the 7th of August. Linked will be in the description box below, so you can go and check that out. And now I will attach my footage of the 5 cards that I had to make, and they were 5 cards using the Festive Kaleidoscope die set, inky coloring techniques to use with the dies to show off their full use and versatility. I genuinely enjoyed working in this one. I do think you should check this out. Absolutely amazing. I was so happy to work on this. Just real happy cards. So this is the colorways that I had to work with these, and now I'm going to attach the footage that I had recorded way back then. I really hope you enjoy it, and if you do not forget to leave me a comment in the comment section below. Okay, so I just finished my card. Excuse my inky fingers. I'm just gonna have to find a way to clean these up, but for now I'm going to show you what I made. I just finished the 5th card just right now. So the first one is this gorgeous easel card. I think it turned out lovely. So I went with a square shape but in a diamond shape, so I turned it in a diagonal orientation. So you can see I used the corner dies on this one. So 4 of those attached to an acetate, turned it into a shaker. I think it's lovely. So for this background in here, took a square cardstock. I masked off diagonally from corner to corner and added 2 different colors. I used peacock feathers and the midnight, and I added them on the opposite sides, so these are like triangle shapes. And then with the contrasting color I added some detail by using one of these die cuts as a stencil. I layered it all on gold cardstock, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I added the sentiment in there, and one of the die cuts in here, it was actually a die cut that I used to add the blue color onto the peacock feathers in there. I think it turned out absolutely fantastic. As you can see, I finished off with some rhinestones in there as well, and it's such a pretty card. I really love how it turned out. Very different for Christmas, and I really love that. So this is card number 1. For card number 2, I went with a circle shape one. Look at that, how gorgeous is it? So you can see I die cut 8 times this same kaleidoscope segment, I think I can call that. And then with the outline die, I've just die cut 8 times again, but I had double-sided sticky sheet attached to that. So when I inked up these segments and I put them on top of that sticky one, everything that was exposed in there that you can see white was still sticky, and I dipped it into glitter, and I'm not sure if you can pick up on all that sparkle. I will leave some close-up images at the very end of this video so you can see how lovely and sparkly this one is. So I arranged them on a circle and then on a slightly larger scalloped one, which I had inked up. And then a smaller circle in the middle, to which I added Merry Christmas, and finished off with some gold rhinestones to match the sentiment. And I think it turned out absolutely perfect too. So this was card number 2. For card number 3, I went with, well, it's like almost a DL card because it's 4 by 8.5, so it's a bit longer than a DL card, but I had to work with the measurements to fit these 5 in there. So I've die cut 5 times the same die cut in there, and I colored them in using alcohol markers, and then for the swirls I added glitter, just using my fine tip glue bottle and some crystal crush glitter. I layered them up on top of the same outline die cuts, but I inked them up with navy or the midnight color. And then the larger outline, which is the scalloped edge, I inked up with the Willen's Potion, and I just layered it up. And how gorgeous do these look? Really, really nice. It's very different for Christmas. I absolutely adore this. It's so nice. So I added this layer, which I used alcohol marker, the same one as I used on the berries, but I also added the crystal crush glitter on top as well. And then I just layered it up on top of my card base. Just finished off decorating with some rhinestones, and I took the May Your Days Be Merry and Bright from a stamp set that I have in my stash. It is by Stamps by Me. I stamped it with the Seedless Preserves distress oxiding pad, heat embossed with clear embossing powder, and just layered it up with a slightly larger frame in that, and I added foam pad to the sentiment. And that finishes up the card. I really enjoyed making this one. It was such a lovely way to use this die set. For card number 4, I went with a square shape card. So one of the cards was, I was asked to make square, one a circle, and the other ones any shapes of my choosing. So this is the square one. This is a 5.5 by 5.5 inch top folding card. And you can see as I used the corner die cut as a stencil again, and I used the Luna Paste by Cosmic Shimmer, and this is the Stellar Jade. It's a lovely green color, and I used it on all 4 corners, layered it up on a slightly larger, which I inked up with the purple ink, and I added to the card base using foam pads. Then I have a smaller square in here. This is 3-inch one, and I inked up again with the same Willen's Potion as the larger square in there. Then I die cut I cut out a slightly smaller white card square in there. And then I created this one in here. I die cut it from white. I heat embossed it with clear sparkle embossing powder. And then I inked up the scalloped edged outline with the Midnight, Peacock Feathers, and Seedless Preserves. I added this on top and adhered it to the card using foam again. The little star is cut from holographic card, and again it's popped up on foam. The sentiment I cut a couple of times. The one on the bottom, which I inked up with purple, is offset slightly, so it gives that lovely dimension behind the silver and the white die cut just underneath. And then I heat embossed Magical in there and added that on foam pads as well. Finished off decorating with some rhinestones, and I think this is so pretty too. It's very different. So there's another way that you can use this die set. It is a simple die set, but so versatile. There's so many uses to this, as you can see. And for my last card, I went with a rectangle shape, 4 by 6 inches card, and I added the 10th fold or a landscape version. So I cut out a slightly smaller, just 1/8 of an inch smaller white card, which I dragged the ink pad just along the edges, just to lift it away from the card base a bit. Then I cut 2 of the corners just from white card, and I added it into these 2 corners in there, just glued them straight down. Then I used oval die set I've die cut a base oval the same size as this white one in here, and then 3 times these kaleidoscopes. Added sleeveless preserves to this one, Volunteers portion, and then the Midnight by Spectrum Noir to that one. I glued them on top of the oval, cut away any excess, then I created this scalloped frame and a slightly narrower of a white one. This one is inked up with peacock feathers, layered it all up and popped up on foam pads to add to my card base. The sentiment from our house to your house is from a previous issue of Craft Essential Series magazines, and this is the Christmas one by June Next Door, which I'm nearly sure was 160. I'm going to double check that. And I just took this sentiment from here. I stamped with purple, heat embossed with clear embossing powder, and just cut it into a rectangle, popped it up on foam, and just finished decorating with some clear rhinestones, clear AB rhinestones. You can see the sparkle on them. I think they all turned out absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to leave you with some footage now at the end, but first I'm going to bring in all 5 cards so you can see how versatile this die set is. There's so many ways that you can use this. Created 5 completely different looking cards with the same die set, and I think they are absolutely fantastic. It's very hard to choose a favorite. I love the colorfulness of these two, but the other ones look absolutely stunning as well. So do let me know which one is your favorite. And if you're interested in checking out this magazine, I will leave a link to it in the description box below. Now stay tuned because I will show you some close-ups now, and I will be back very soon with another video. Until then, bye!